We met back up with Vince "KINGPIN" Lucido while we were in Taiwan recently. He's been a recurring guest over the years for his EVGA tenure, and this time he reached out to us with a simple request: get his BIOS team on camera. Vince spoke highly of his BIOS crew, attributing much of his overclocking leaderboard success and the successes of his team like Biso, Lumi, and Sens to the behind-the-scenes BIOS pit crew. Vince introduced us to Alex and Ben on his BIOS team. They're the ones who overhauled EVGA's motherboard firmware and got it into a competitive state with industry leaders, like longtime rivals ASUS.
ASUS has always been the one that we've wanted to beat.
We caught up with Alex and Ben to talk about what a BIOS engineer really does, one of their world record overclocks, and the fierce EVGA versus ASUS rivalry that's been going on for years now. We also had a sobering dose of reality from them.
Yeah, these guys will they'll probably move on.
Yeah.
Go to another vendor.
Right.
So we won't be colleagues anymore. It's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. Both Alex and Ben will be moving to other motherboard manufacturers, and what we wanted to highlight with the help of Vince is that good BIOS developers are so rare that each individual can make a massive impact on the quality of a motherboard. These two guys are a large part of the reason EVGA's motherboards became usable in the first place, and other companies will now benefit from their skills. But before we could show the overclock, we still had to overcome the usual trade show antics.
There's condensation on the end of the steam cannon dripping, and it just dripped on our board and shorted it out.
Let's get to the discussion. I am joined by a special guest, Vince "KINGPIN" Lucido, and Vince wanted to introduce us to the BIOS team at EVGA. They have a crazy overclock, but set it up for us. Who is the BIOS team? What are the credentials?
Okay, so these are two guys that have been with me for a very long time, one of them since the beginning. And I feel like these guys are kind of the unsung heroes of our brand. They do so much work on motherboard. Ben is always tuning BIOS all day long. I taught him how to overclock on LN2. So, you know, I want your viewers to meet these guys and understand who's behind the BIOS on a lot of these products.
Yeah, and that is a massive part of the motherboards, obviously, and video cards even. And we're gonna go check that out now. Change of plans. So we have a really cool B-roll shot of, is it water? Is it nitrogen? What is it?
There's condensation. Look, there's condensation on the end of the steam cannon dripping, and it just dripped on our board and shorted it out right before we started this video.
And this has happened to us in the past, actually. I was here previously, and actually, it was Joe one time, where Joe off to the side over here at the G-Skill booth.
They got you too?
Yeah, we have. You don't think about it until it happens. So it basically happens, and then all of a sudden you come back and be like, what's going on? Yeah, real fun.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah, expensive mistake.
That's the real overclocking challenge,
to me,
though.
One of my systems.
Yeah.
Like in 2018, I think that happened. Yeah, 2018 or 2017 that happened.
Hard to keep track.
So, do you think? Oh gosh.
Oh, they got it to post.
Check out the cover here too. This is the fix. This is EVGA engineering.
Nice. Well,
Nice.
Seems fine now.
Okay, it works now. So, can you walk me through what's going on? What do you have set up?
Oh, okay. My CI is based on the 24 GB module, and we can boot around 10,000 and try to raise the frequency to 10,100. It's based on water cooling.
Right.
Yeah, system. Yes.
So as I understand it, ASUS has a system nearby, also in this show.
Yeah,
But I heard that your overclock is higher than theirs.
Yes, it's a little bit higher. Yes. Yeah, and we are running on water cooling. Yes.
And they're on what, liquid nitrogen?
Yes. Liquid
yes.
nitrogen.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a higher clock and it's on
A little bit higher. Yes.
a little bit higher, is still higher.
Yeah. Still
High
higher.
enough.
Yeah.
Higher enough.
Yes.
What's the kit of memory you're using? Is it G-Skill? Is it unbranded?
G-Skill key. It's a 24 GB module, and the XMP profile is 8,000. It's quite a good key for high frequency. It's okay.
And you're running at 10,100.
Yes.
How about timings?
Timing is around 64 CL and 127 and 127. Yeah.
Can you tell me about the OC tool, the Z790 Dark tool?
He actually designed it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you can see my name here. Then I trying to provide some good feature. They can create hotkey, and also they want to save CPU profile. So that's easy. When you are pushing the memory frequency higher, you need to just press hotkey, increase frequency, and also save screen and save profile. So that's more easy when you use hotkey. Yeah.
Okay. What's the most difficult part for building BIOS?
For sure, it's NRC part, memory reference code.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to try to figure out each parameters. Anyone can help for overclocking.
Okay.
So that's most of the difficult part. It's over like maybe 100 parameters we can try, and the combination is so difficult. Yes.
What do you think? So, for EVGA BIOS specifically, I know there were a number of years where the BIOS, I think it might have been X99 era, where it wasn't nearly as strong as it is today.
Pre-X99.
Okay.
Yeah. He came on right around X99, and that's when he really started to shine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my first workstation platform. Yes.
Okay.
In EVGA.
So what do you think is the most important aspect, 最重要的 EVGA BIOS 的 feature 你觉得是什么？对。
Oh, we create the OC robot feature. Since like X299.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we renew the GUI design to give the OC robot feature can to do the overclocking automatically. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the most important feature for EVGA, and I create that.
What is your job like every day to day? What type of work are you doing? Are you doing overclocking, testing, programming?
Yes. We need to test the CPU, each CPU, and to find out the best combination for voltage setting and the overclocking setting. So, and building in our BIOS. Yeah, as an auto table.
Right now, they're spending a lot of time to support these guys, Lumi and Clemens and
Okay.
Biso. They're in
Yeah.
the contest, right?
Yeah,
So they're constantly updating the BIOS, constantly helping them with timings and profiles.
it's like a pit crew.
Seriously, they've been nonstop supporting those guys. Really good.
So what when you're up on stage like this in a competition format, when you say like supporting, what is that? What type of support? What actually is happening when you're helping these guys?
Try to push the memory performance as high as possible. Yeah, because today they want to run the memory make like 9000 CO32 or over 9000 to get the best performance. So if they have problem, we need to try to figure out and give the memory tuning. We will try to modify the memory code.
He's talking about efficiency.
Okay.
Efficiency. Yes.
Ben is R&D.
Ben's a badass, man. This guy, I love this guy. A long time ago, I came to Alex and I said, our memory could be a lot better if one of these BIOS guys could actually do LN2. Let me show him how to overclock.
Oh, this is the guy you taught.
Yeah, so I showed him how to overclock, and then, man, this guy for 690, Z690, Z590, Z790, every day, all day. That's all he does.
So
Overclock on LN2 with the memory.
OK，所以他教你怎么 OC 吗？OK，
And he's very good. He's just as good as any of these guys on stage. Very
that's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is that LN2 you taught him?
LN2.
OK OK. So maybe 可以帮我翻译一下。What does Ben normally work on the BIOS? Like, what's his sort of normal job day to day for BIOS?
Okay, his job is basically he's a BIOS engineer. Also, we need to fix all the BIOS issue, but he will do the overclocking stuff by himself. It's one of the most important part for BIOS. So he also do the memory tuning to modify memory code and try to figure out to fix the problem. Sometimes we just stuck up maybe some frequency. Then we need to jump to fix to jump to higher frequency. Yeah.
Whenever you're tuning an overclock like this, how long does it take to actually lock it in?
At least 2 months for one platform.
Yeah.
Yes, or maybe 3 months.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For BIOS program, BIOS updates, when you're building for not just overclocking features, but normal user features, where do you end up spending most of the time as on the BIOS side? I mean, like memory, I would assume, but you've got all these other OC tools, OC features. What gets the most focus?
Let me think. Maybe the OC robot because we need to build in some features. Because different platforms have a different overclocking method. So we need to review again right into the platform. So that's most important.
We spent a lot of time on that OC robot.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
So Vince, do you have any like hero moment stories for the team where you were under like a lot of pressure, you were struggling with something?
Just since Z590, our motherboards have gotten really good. So I'm like really proud of these guys. I feel like as a team, we've gotten so much better. And I think everybody knows it. Everybody knows the old EVGA BIOS from a long time ago wasn't so great, right? Now it's so clean and organized and good. That's all because of them. It's just me going back and forth with them every day for many years.
Yeah.
And now we're there, you know?
How frequently do you go through like BIOS revisions like that? I mean, when you're dialing one in at the end, like
Dude, I will like flash the BIOS and he comes in and says, I got another BIOS for you to flash.
Okay.
At the beginning. It's like that.
Okay.
Every day. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's cool. Anything you want to cover in particular on the dark side, like the boards, the BIOS, any special aspects you want to bring attention to?
No, just that I'm actually very, very pleased with our motherboard development on this motherboard in particular, also the 4DIMM one, because we really spend a lot of time and we really fine tune it, the performance. And I feel like this is the year where we finally caught ASUS. You know,
Yeah.
I always say that, but you know, ASUS has always been the one.
You have a higher clock than them right now.
Yeah, ASUS has always been the one that we've wanted to beat, you know, and be the same as, because
Right.
they're the best in motherboard. So I feel like we finally got that, and I'm very proud to have these guys as my colleagues.
You guys are at the top of the leaderboards right now, so stuff like this. So, Ben，你在 EVGA 工作多久了？
8 years.
8年嘛，啊，so like about the same, it's
Yeah.
close to you.
Yeah,
I
it's,
was here over 10 years.
yeah.
10 years.
Me and him almost the same.
Almost
Okay.
same, yes.
What's the next project? What are you working on right now?
Next project?
Yeah.
Next project.
There's no next project. Yeah, these guys will they'll probably move on,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to another vendor.
Right.
So we won't be colleagues anymore. It's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. For this clock, is this the final clock for the show? I saw a 10300 briefly.
Yes. In the morning we show 10300.
Is that the highest anyone's done on these boards?
We still can push it hard, but it's okay for demo.
Yeah.
Keep the system stable.
Yeah, if there's no more water from above.
Man, I can't believe it that happens over and over again every time. You think people would learn?
Every year.
Or you'd think I'd break it.
That's true too. Joe's gonna get up there and rip it off the ceiling next time.
Almost ruined our demo.
Well, I really appreciate the introduction and also some of the behind the scenes on the BIOS. So thank you guys for joining. And thanks Vince for setting it up.
Yeah. Good to see you guys again.
We'll see you all next time.